Once we understand the technique of creating your linear equation in slope point form, we can now move on to some word problems and see how numbers in word problems can turn into the slope and the point. In example number 4, oil pump jacks can be seen everywhere in northern Alberta. Each pump jack pumps crude oil into a storage tank at a constant rate of 1.2 cubic meter per hour. Now, I hope you remember what we've talked about in the last few classes. When it comes to word problems, the word here actually means the slope that you are dealing with. The rate of change between the volume and the time is 1.2. So if you want to come up with a graph with x and y, if they are talking about the change, the rate of change between volume and time, these will be the x and y variable, the independent and the dependent variables. So it is a matter of asking yourself, do we have volume depends on time, or do we have times depends on volume? And when you think clearly, it makes sense to say that as you pump more, as the pump jack works longer hour, you will get more volume of crude oil. So the volume of crude oil depends on time, which means I have the volume on the y-axis and I have time on the x-axis. But so far we only have the slope. What about the next sentence? After 24 hours, well, when the time is 24, I have the volume equals 29. So combining these two numbers together, if I have x equals 24, the time equals 24, then I will have the volume equals 29. These two numbers basically give us a point for this problem. And given we already have the slope, we can now create an equation using the slope point form. If this is x1 and y1, the equation for this line would then be y minus 29 equals m times x minus 24. That will be the equation in slope point form. And you can probably create a table of values to see how the numbers go. If you have no idea how to create an equation like this, if you don't understand how the constant rate is actually the slope, you can create a table with x and y. X being the time and y being the volume. In 24 hours, your tank will come up with 29 cubic meter of crude oil. 1 day later, so after 2 days, you will be getting another 29 cubic meter of crude oil. And of course, as you continue,